34B. So for 34A, which totals to 41,000, they had told us they had 28,000 on the website. And then there is now the constituency level, where you have 290 from 34B. Yeah. Of those, by the time I was leaving Bomas, I didn't have the figures, but our team is still on site for 34B.
My name is Roma Wanga from KUTV. You had some demands for the master principals in yesterday's press conference, and the IEBC did reply to those demands, and they're poking holes into those for instance, there's an accounting, there's a
saying is what you have on your data set. So if there are errors from whatever server that data came from, but they were very clear. It is from an IEBC source, and they were asked several times with the source. You don't disclose who was. The only information I have seen of the nature that you are suggesting is some documents on social media responding to the letter which was sent yesterday on the 10th at 4 o'clock or thereabouts, and the document I saw is dated the 9th. So I'm not sure I don't know whether that's what you're referring to, but I have not had IEBC own that document. But I am hearing lots of people, so I don't know. But I am not speaking. I am not involved. As you know, whistleblower information is on a need-to-know basis. I don't need to know. I don't know that. I know what you're doing.
So the results which NASA produced yesterday, those are results from the IEBC original servers.
NASA did not produce a result, it produced a leak.
Yes, for the leak which is from the IEBC servers, not from the
Of course, if it's a leak, it's from IEBC, it's not from us.
So the results are from the technical team as to...
Our results don't look like that. In fact, those results are by county, aggregated. Already that is not the level at which we are operating. We are talking 290 constituencies. And results is not a spreadsheet. Results is these forms which are signed by people with a comment saying that I do not agree with this. So people have been misled to think that numbers are results. Results, if I take numbers off your logbook and say, because I have the particulars of your car, the serial number, the XYZ, do I have title to your car? No. I cannot sell it on the basis of its particulars. I can only produce the logbook which shows that I own it. So we do not have, you are reporting extracts of results and calling them results. That in itself was an extract of results aggregated by a database. So if the programming of the database was erroneous, it doesn't mean that the Form 34s that the results came from are erroneous. It's errors of calculation. I do not know. I'm speaking from my knowledge as somebody who does statistics.
Maybe I could add. I think his question was that the NASA team had some documents, some technical documents about the IBC servers. And I think last night IBC produced a blow-by-blow account refuting those statements. I think that's what you're referring to.
That is what I'm referring to.
So we received that report, so we're looking at it. We're likely to respond to it next.
Question next. My question is, you don't have the luxury of time. The presidential results have to be clear within a period. So as you are hinting, there's still some work to be done here, because now you're even doing the work of IBC, where they need to do, just need to do comparison. So what are you going to do about the luxury of time? That you clearly, it's not on your side. Secondly, they're likely to declare the president today. So is this work in preparation for petition or something, or are you just doing the work that you ought to have done?
One, we don't think that this is an obstacle race. Okay? So that you are racing to the bottom, to the whatever. We used to do that in kindergarten, where you put in sacks or carry potatoes on a spoon and see who gets the finishing line fast. This is about giving Kenyans a free, fair, and credible election. I have heard the chairman of the IEBC say that he has 7 days. I have heard him commit that he will not declare the result until the last form is in. In fact, he went as far as insinuating that he would wait for the physical return. So because, he said, because aspersions has been cast on the transmission, on the electronic transmission, we will wait for the physical document. So the IEBC chairman was saying, we want to ensure that Kenyans believe the election. So he has moved the goalpost. Okay? I would imagine what a patriotic electoral body would do would be to ask all parties, how do we work together to ensure that the result which comes out is the correct result and the satisfaction of all Kenyans? Not to ambush people where you watch TV and you see something which looks like a preparation for an event that you have not been alerted that will occur, while at the same time that's what we're doing here.
Some areas are not even complete.
They're not
There's
complete.
some areas that still have issues, as you've seen.
Yeah.
So
They are not
when you're
finished.
asking if all have been submitted, you know that some areas are not complete. Even some places in Marsabit, Mandera, as we are talking, their own ROs are on their way and it takes 2 days to travel.
Ted, maybe you can tell us which constituencies do you have local officials now? Then number two, if the total sum you might be having left.
I'll
We
give
are
you
not summing. Let's just give you an
I'll
example.
give you an example. For instance, we were hearing things like Nyamira, Kisii, Bungoma. Wrong. What we have is very, very different from what that computer-generated stuff you're seeing on TV. Totally different. So we don't have access to your channels. We don't have our own TV channel. So we are dependent on the state-run channels and the state-controlled channels. So right now, but the reality on the paperwork that we're receiving is very different. In fact, our presiding officers are horrified. What they're seeing is different from what they have on the website. So
We don't want to get into a shouting match with the IEBC and Jubilee on this number, that number. We want to say that this election we want to see and talk about each one of them.
Just quickly, David. Colin Crozier from Fairfax Media in Australia. The information you've given today was quite technical and detailed. If you could just summarise, please, the work that you're doing here in this House and what argument you're making today. If I could just ask you to please go over that.
We are doing here since Tuesday night a compilation of the presidential election results as obtained by our agents at the constituency level. the purpose of this operation when it was established, and all our operations wherever they are, was for the agents to send us the information. Because we have more processing and technical capacity here, we compile it and send it back to them to prepare for the declaration of the result at their constituency tallying center. This work was not geared towards Bomas, because we understood that the work of Bomas and the chairman of the IEBC commission was to add up 290 numbers which have been declared at the constituency. We didn't, so that's what we have set up to do. But the process at the constituency level was disorganized by the preemptive streaming of national aggregate results showing a lead from the aggregates of constituencies which had not been completed. So we do not know whether those numbers which are being streamed are of constituencies where 20% is completed, another one 50% completed, we do not know. So
Azam TV kutoka Tanzania tupate kwa Kiswahili mlichokisema.
Kiswahili? Yeah. Tunajaribu. Unajua Kiswahili nilizaliwa Tanzania, nikalelewa hapa, nikakufia Uganda. Sasa tumeita wanahabari hapa ninyi. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. Tulikuwa tunataka kuwaonyesha kazi ambayo tunafanya ili kuhesabu kura, tuhakikishie Wakenya kuwa uchaguzi umekuwa uchaguzi wa halali, uchaguzi wa haki na uchaguzi uko na uwazi. Tumefanya hii kazi tangu siku ya Tuesday usiku, tukiwa na matarajio kuwa kama sheria inavyosema na kama tulivyokubaliana kama Jamhuri ya Kenya tukiwa wananchi, tutahesabu hii uchaguzi kwa kila eneo bunge kwa eneo bunge, na tuko na maeneo bunge 290, na kwa sababu sheria inasema inagadaga kuwa kura za uchaguzi wa urais zitahesabiwa na kutangazwa katika hiyo maeneo bunge. Wakati uchaguzi ulianza kuhesabiwa, kura zilianza kuhesabiwa, idara ya IEBC, tume ya IEBC ambayo inasimamia uchaguzi, imegeuza mwenendo wa vile inatangaza matokeo ya uchaguzi, na imekimbiza kwa kasi sana matangazo ya katika taifa lote bila kutuonyesha hiyo matangazo inatoka maeneo bunge gani. Kwa hivyo kazi yetu ikakuwa ngumu sana, kwa sababu hatungeweza kuongea tuwaeleze wananchi kwa eneo bunge hili tuko na matokeo haya na IEBC iko na matokeo haya. Lakini tumeendelea kuifanya hiyo kazi. Leo kuna fununu kutakuwa na matangazo ya mshindi wa uchaguzi wa rais na hatujapata fursa ya kukubaliana tukiwa Wakenya wote kuwa kila uchaguzi katika eneo bunge ni umefanyika kikamilifu na tumekubaliana kwa matokeo, ama hatujakubaliana kwa hiyo matokeo, ili tujadiliane tujue ni matokeo gani yale ambayo yatakubaliana tutafanywa namna gani, kama ingine tarudiwa, kama kura zitahesabiwa tena kwa hiyo eneo bunge. Hiyo mambo yote ingekuwa inafaa ifanyike, na tuko na matokeo kadhaa ambayo tuko na hakika na tuko na ushahidi wa kutosha kuwa hiyo matokeo haijaweza kutimiza matakwa ya sheria.
Sasa endapo kama matokeo yakitangazwa leo, nyinyi pamoja na kazi mnayoifanya mtachukua hatua gani?
Sisi tutaendelea na kazi yetu kwa sababu tumekuwa na uchaguzi wa mwaka wa 2013 na mwaka wa 2007 ambayo ilikuwa na vurugu kwa sababu matokeo hayakutokea kikamilifu. Mpaka wa leo hatujapata tume zilizokuwepo na nyingine imevunjwa hayakuweza kupata matokeo mpaka wa leo. Hakuna hizo ripoti, hazijawahi tokea. Sasa ni jukumu letu kuhakikisha muhula huu kuwa tutakuwa na ushahidi wa kutosha kuonyesha Wakenya, tuhakikishe uchaguzi, kura yenu ambayo mlipiga matokeo yake ilikuwa ni kama ikilingana na matokeo iliyotangazwa sawa, isipolingana, sisi kama professionals kazi yetu ni kufanya kazi yetu. Unajua kama mtu ni auditor, kazi yako ni kufanya audit, alafu anapatia shareholders hiyo audit, alafu unafanya